round London Transport logo was prominent in the background. Several injured, but no reports of fatalities on this quiet service which was travelling out of central London. We can only speculate on how much more serious this event could have been if the device had detonated earlier, on the train's inbound journey, at the peak of rush hour. The police have made no comment yet, but there is clearly conjecture that we are dealing here with a terrorist incident, which has, thankfully, not gone according to plan. Nonetheless, we saw scenes of panic as the train was evacuated at East Finchley Station earlier this morning. This footage and photography comes from public mobile phone recordings, so we apologise for the quality, but it gives a sense of the scale of the incident here earlier today. The visuals cut again, this time to a jerky recording of people fleeing the station. The whole place was filled with smoke and debris, along with people running, seemingly in every direction. The phone had captured cries and shouts. Karen wondered who would pause to start recording in such a moment, but then there was always someone. Briefly, she set the bowl down to add a splash more milk, then picked it up again. In her head, she ran through whether anyone she knew would be on that train at that time. She didn't think so. It made her shudder nonetheless. The coverage went back to the studio now, where someone had taken the best of the amateur camera shots and turned them into slick backgrounds to head up the various aspects of the report. As the presenter commented on the emergency response, there was a picture of an ambulance crew arriving, one paramedic frozen in mid-air, jumping from the vehicle in his rush to get to the scene. The next segment was the injured, and a different picture flashed up. This one showed a woman leaving the station, a white burn mask covering her face, and another paramedic guiding her by the shoulder. Karen took a sharp intake of breath at the scene. The bomb might have done less damage than those responsible had hoped for, but it didn't look great for that poor soul. As the presenter continued to talk, striving to eke out a paucity of information into something that was meant to sound meaningful and authoritative, Karen squinted at the screen. There was someone else in the picture, just behind the woman in the burn mask. At first glance, this other figure, darkly clothed and covered in dust, almost merged with the background. But as soon as Karen turned her attention away from the arresting image of that mask and really looked at the rest of the picture, the second woman jolted into focus. With a clatter, the glass mixing bowl dropped out of her hands, slopping creamy mixture down her dress and all over her suede slippers. For a long, frozen moment, Karen stared at the screen, ignoring the slow drips of batter sliding from her hem to the floor. The other woman in the picture was Alex. Chapter 2. Misty, 2019. She'd been doing the job for 22 years, but the sting when they lost someone never hurt any less. The couple sitting in front of her, knees touching, hands clasped, had strong rural accents that sounded out of place in the busy London clinic. They were from somewhere in darkest Dorset, driven here by desperation and internet research that had given them a glimmer of hope that here something could be done to help their precious Bella. Over the last few months, Misty had come to like them, which wasn't always the case. She respected Alan, with his weathered farmer's hands and the pressed cotton handkerchief he put in his jacket pocket for trips up to town. His wife, Ruth, with her wide, disarming smile and her scent of freesias, inspired a feeling of warmth that Misty knew was shared by all the staff who'd worked with Bella. Today, though, they were visiting for the last time.
"I never believed it would come to this,"
Ruth sniffed, and Alan squeezed her hand where it lay in his.
"I knew it in my head, but I never believed it in my heart."
Misty nodded, careful to allow the woman to have the space she needed to speak.
"She was such a live wire, you know, when she was a little one. I wish you could have known her. These last few years, it's been like a flame going out. Maybe she was just too bright for us. Too bright for this world. She just faded away, and there was nothing we could do to keep her. Nothing. Nothing we could do."